All right, today's lesson is going to be on text treatment. I know I've gone over the what is typography. The other day we talked about tracking, putting the space between each letter. We also covered leading, which is the space between your lines. We talked about different types of text treatment and how they can be. It can be the tracking can be tight, or the tracking can be spread apart. You can have different leading between. Okay. I want to right now look at this text treatment here for Panic at the Disco. I want you to ask yourself, how many layers do you think it took the graphic designer to make this text treatment? So ask yourself that question right now. Look at each section and then shout out a number. 5 maybe, 6 maybe. Okay, let's look at it. The P is on a separate layer because it's a different size of font. So that's one. The ANIC is another layer. The exclamation is another layer. And it's also rotated. So that's 3. The at the is the 4th layer. The D is on a separate layer. And then the ISCO is on the 6th layer. So this is a text treatment where they've totally torn it apart and then reconstructed it. When you're dealing with text treatments, I want you to be thinking of a puzzle. You're taking the pieces and trying to put it together so it looks, it's appealing to the eye and it's unique. Okay. In Photoshop, if you have your rule of thirds here, your text treatment for your band posters need to be in the upper half, please. The other thing I need you to do is you need an imaginary border around your text treatment. So you can have your text treatment justified to the left, you can have it in the center, and or you can have it justified to the right. The most important thing is I don't want it butted up to the edges on here or over here. There's many reasons for this, but the biggest reason is because in printing, the sides get cut off. So if you have it too close to the edge and you spend $500 on printing and your T gets cut off, you're out $500. So again, make sure your text treatment is here in the middle. Okay. All right, we're going to just start off with something really simple. Let's say I am going to do a text treatment for Jack Johnson. Now, I could just write it like that and leave it and be done, but that's absolutely boring. Okay, it's not unique. I've added nothing to it. So I'm going to start playing around with different fonts and then also different blending options. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this J and I'm going to remove it from the group, Control X, and then I'm going to do Control V. So now I have the J on my own here. I'm going to highlight my J. And I'm going to come up here into my fonts, and I'm just going to start thinking about his music and how it makes me feel. His music is really upbeat. It's positive. So I might find a font that makes me feel that way, which is difficult to do. And it also has to be legible. Let's try that. Now here, you can manually put in the point size. You can also grab the T and go up. Okay. Another thing you can do, just like you did with all of your objects, is you can enlarge it like that. So let's say I have the J, and then I'm going to do the ACK there. And then since his name starts with the exact same letter, I'm going to take this end, I'm going to exit, cut it, And then again, I'm going to paste it. Ay, ay, ay. Here we go. And now I have my 3 sections. I'm going to play around with how this looks. I'll remove. That's not bad. It's just not great. So let me try a few more things. I'm going to see what font that's a brush script. So I'm going to maybe change this to brush script. Okay. Okay, so let's say I like this, okay? I'm not crazy about it, but for the learning purposes, we'll move forward. So now I have this Jack Johnson here. The most important thing, just like a logo, now it's one unit. You want it to be together as one unit. So at this point, I'm going to throw on a few blending options. So I'm going to choose the ACK layer, hold down the Shift key, choose the J layer, and the Onsen layer. Then I'm going to right click. But when I right click, you don't have the option to merge your layers. So you actually have to go up here to this little arrow. I'm going to merge the layers. So now it's one unit. I can transform it. I can rotate it. So once you get it the way you like it, then you can resize it. Then I can right click, go to blending options. At this point, I can decide maybe I want to throw an outer glow on it. A lot of his music is about Hawaii or the ocean, so maybe I'll choose like a bluish color. Okay. Or maybe I want to do a gradient overlay or a color overlay. Now I'm going to say, okay, now let's say I like this, but I want to add more to it, but I want to have maybe like, for example, in the AC/DC here, they have a white stroke and a black stroke. So I'm going to need to make 2 layers of Jack Johnson. So I'm just going to Control J, and now I have another copy. Right click, blending option. Let's say I'm going to throw a stroke on it. So I'm a yellow stroke, and I'm going to put it at 10. On the outside. So I say okay. Now if I put that over it, that doesn't work, but I'm going to grab this and drag it on top, and there we go. Okay. So these are just ideas, ways to play around with your text treatment, make it unique, and make it as if it's one unit. Okay. And at this point, if I want to combine the two again, hold the Shift key down, come to my arrow, merge my layers, edit, free transform. And you can treat it just like one of your boxes or a text. Let's just try one thing. I don't know if you can throw a filter on it at this point. Oh, yeah, you can. Not that you would want to, but you can throw filters on top of it at this point. All right, okay. Have fun creating your text treatment. Your sentence frame for today is, my text treatment is unique because I applied a blank font and blank to the text. And then you need to explain why. All right, have a great time.